Hey guys, and welcome to All Game Plus, a brand new retro review show in which I'll be discussing some of the best, worst, and all around most interesting titles that classic gaming has to offer, and seeing how well they hold up today. In this first episode, I'll be discussing a game that people consider to be an absolute classic Super Nintendo title, and it's a game that I personally have very fond memories of, Super Castlevania 4.
Technically a remake of the first Castlevania for the Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Castlevania 4 was a fantastic showcase of what the Super Nintendo could do, with far more detailed backgrounds, the famous Mode 7 wizardry prevalent in a lot of Super Nintendo games at the time, larger well-animated character sprites and an enhanced control system. Super Castlevania 4 was a huge adventure that would set up an example for a whole new generation of platformers. Konami really outdid themselves with the jump to the new system, and they knew they had an absolute classic on their hands.
Despite all of its hype, back when I first played Castlevania 4 as a kid, I had no idea what it even was, due to the fact that the original Nintendo was nowhere near the enormous success in Europe as it was in the US at the time. I didn't even know what a Castlevania was, let alone that there were 3 others on the Nintendo before this. I originally came into possession of the game back in school when somebody I knew had accidentally lost one of my other games and they traded me this and a couple of other games in return. But since I can't even remember what the original game was that, they lost, it couldn't have been that important. Super Castlevania 4 was about to blow my little child mind.
Upon seeing the intro, I knew this game was going to be something different. You see this dingy, dimly lit dungeon with spiders and large bugs crawling away into the shadows as the camera slowly pans up to reveal the title screen. You hit start and then, holy shit, was that a fucking werewolf? Then you put in your name, and you're treated to a picture of this badass in armor with sweet hair cracking his whip in front of a giant castle gate. Already the main character is somebody who commands some respect. After messing around on the first screen for a while, learning what the controls do, I whip some candles and find out that I can get items and hearts from them, whatever these hearts are used for. And you moonwalk up and down the stairs a few times and head over to the drawbridge. And as you jump on there, it starts closing, pushing you towards the next screen, locking you in the castle and sealing your fate forever. And suddenly giant spiked fences crash upwards from the ground, and then the music starts.
To this day, the music that plays in the background of the first stage of this game is one of my all-time favorite pieces of video game music. The piece is so powerful and heroic, it sets the stage perfectly for an epic adventure as you smash through Dracula's undead front lines.
The first stage isn't alone in this either, as every single stage in the game is accompanied by tracks that fit the atmosphere perfectly, with a suitably creepy ambience throughout. Everything comes together to form one outstanding soundtrack full of memorable pieces that even to this day I find myself humming along with whenever I revisit the game. At that point in my life, my experience with platformers was also severely limited. Sure, I played some Mario and Sonic, and even a little Bubble Bobble and some UK classics like Magic Pockets and Gods, but Castlevania was different. For the first time a platform game was an adventure to me. It wasn't just about avoiding a few arbitrary obstacles to get to a goal at the end of a stage whilst grabbing as many points and bonuses as possible along the way. In this game, I was a goddamned medieval hero with a whip that could lash in any direction I wanted, that I could use to smash skeletons to pieces or crush giant suits of armor. I could throw daggers, axes, flaming bottles of holy water, and crosses at anything that got in my way. I got to fight huge mythical beasts and terrifying monsters as bosses. I was Simon fucking Belmont, badass vampire killer with an awesome weapon. Before Castlevania, I'd also never seen a Super Nintendo game this gritty and realistic in its art style. My SNES games at the time consisted of games like Mario, Zelda, and Super Buddy that were all bright, colourful, and charming. Castlevania, however, was dark, gothic, and scary, showing me a side to console gaming that I wasn't used to. Konami paid outstanding attention to detail in this game, with extremely diverse environments that visit such places as underground caverns, torture dungeons, treasure hoards, and even the sprawling clockwork innards of an enormous clock tower. As I mentioned before, the bosses can be huge, and they almost all look fantastic, and some are even highly original in their design, such as a well-dressed pair of ghost dancers that look like they died together at some extravagant ball, or a huge stone golem that breaks apart as you hit him. Other parts of the game also had really awesome effects, such as a room that rotates around you while you hang from a hook by your whip, or a cracked-out Funhouse-style tunnel of death that rolls around you in the background, messing with your eyes as platforms fall away beneath you and as skeletons jump out from doors in the background. Unfortunately, this game is not without its flaws. as it wanders into some of the classic pitfalls, pun intended, of bad design in 2D platformers, such as vertically progressing stages where you can't fall below the bottom edge of the screen as you move up, platforms that fall from under you if you stand on them from anything more than a tenth of a second, and jumps that require pixel-perfect accuracy. These issues are mostly insignificant, however, and Super Castlevania IV is a game that I have always considered to be one of the perfect examples of the platforming genre. It really is that good. At least, the way I remember it.
Fuck. Are you fucking kidding me? Fucking birds. Fuck off. Oh my god. Urgh. Fuck! Oh, stop. Fuck! Oh my god, go away. Yeah! Fucking bats! Fuck! So much shit on screen! All the way back here? Fuck! What? Fuck! No! I don't want to fight a boss now. No, go away! Fuck off! No! What? Fuck. Okay, well, the game might not be quite as easy as I remember it, but the truth still stands. Super Castlevania IV is absolutely one of the best games available for the Super Nintendo, and one of the best platformers of all time. If you're a collector, you owe it to yourself to pick up a copy of this game. And if you just have a Super Nintendo and are looking for something good to play, you should track down a copy. It is absolutely worth it. Thanks for watching the premiere episode of Old Game Plus, and be sure to check out SplitGitCom's YouTube channel to get all the latest episodes of Old Game Plus and more.